Hello friends, we have made it to the final module of this course where we are going to discuss about prescriptive analytics, latest developments in analytics, big data, impact of COVID and so on. So far we have discussed about descriptive, diagnostic and predictive analytics in details. I hope you had a wonderful time learning and being a part of this journey. So in descriptive, we try to understand what has happened. In diagnostic, we try to know why that happened. And at the predictive, we try to predict what will happen. Then the last thing which we need to see is if we can actually recommend what should be done to make something happen, or what should be done to achieve a certain target. What can we do to achieve our overall business objective? These are some of the interrelated questions which is tried to be answered using the prescriptive analytics model. Now this is a very advanced level of analytics. If you remember, we discussed about the difficulty versus value framework, wherein we put prescriptive analytics and the cognitive analytics at the very top, which has very high value, but it is very difficult to achieve as well. Remember, even if something has a very high potential of high value, if it is incorrect, then it is actually going to give you wrong results, which is going to be counterproductive for the business. And hence, just like there was the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. If prescriptive analytics holds such power, we need to ensure that it is accurate as well, so that the recommendation which it gives is actually usable and it's correct. So exactly when I talk about prescriptive analytics, how do we do that? So if you go by the definition of Gartner, you realize that it says that prescriptive analytics tells us what should be done or what we can do to make something happen, which is my eventual business objective. And it is characterized by techniques such as the graph analysis, simulations, event processing, neural networks, heuristics, recommendation engines, and other machine learning algorithms. These are very advanced, complex techniques which is used in order to achieve a particular outcome. And we will not be going into details of these aspects in the current module to keep it at an introductory level. But what we will do is, with this particular session, we will try to develop a certain level of appreciation of prescriptive analytics, understand its overall applications and its usage, what are the pros and the cons which we have already briefly discussed about. So the terminology of prescriptive analytics was coined by IBM. In its article, IBM has conceived prescriptive analytics to essentially be part of two elements. One is optimization, which is how to achieve the best outcome. Let's say we have a situation of determining the optimal price in order to improve the market share. So with the optimization tools, with the optimization algorithms, we can actually come up with the various constraints, with the various data which we have, basis that we can come up with an optimized solution to tell that if X is the price, then we can say, or we can predict that the market share is going to grow by Y percentage, let's say, which was my target. So optimization is at the very core of every prescriptive analytics technique. The other aspect is another advanced level of optimization, or a deeper level of optimization, which is stochastic optimization, which tells us how to achieve the best outcome or make the better decisions by accounting for the uncertainty in the existing data. So we have to understand this as well, that even if the data which I have currently, there might be some changes in that data in the future. So how do I account for that variability? How do I account for that uncertainty in the data? So it is the stochastic optimization methods which takes into consideration that the data of today is not an absolute 100% representation of the data of tomorrow. There would be some changes. And so taking that into account, when we do an optimization, we improve the optimization result by a better degree. So these two, an overall level of optimization and stochastic optimization, which improves taking into consideration the uncertainty of the data, is what forms the two most backbone elements of prescriptive analytics as per the IB. Then we ask the question of why do we do a prescriptive analytics? As we have said, that from a value addition perspective, prescriptive has a very high degree of value addition to business because it helps in taking decisions. It actually tells you what decision to take. So for example, as I gave you one instance wherein we were trying to find out the optimized price in order to maximize market share or achieve a certain target percentage of market share of a particular brand in a particular geography. Say for example, we also want to understand the tendencies or the behavior of my customer before I am launching a marketing campaign. And with this particular engine, with this particular optimization, we would actually say that this is where you have to invest in your marketing campaign in order to achieve whatever was your target. For example, if you remember, we had discussed about the impact or the value addition if we could predict failures of equipments during the service lines, at airports as well. So if we could predict that at the right time when should an appliance be put into service in order to prevent equipment failures, that is of huge value addition to a business. And at the same time, overall understanding about one of the biggest understanding which is needed is regarding the decision of whether credit should be provided to a customer or not. Now, till now, what we do with predictive level is we forecast a probability of what is the probability that this particular customer is going to fraud or default a loan and will not default a loan. But here we are actually giving you the recommendation that yes, you give a credit to this particular customer, vis-a-vis do not give it to another customer. So that kind of decision making, the next step is what prescriptive analytics actually helps business to take. Now let us take a very common and very interesting use case. We have taken this from the book by Arthur Zhang, which is entitled Data Analytics: Practical Guide to Leveraging the Power of Algorithms, Data Science, Mining, Statistics, Big Data and Predictive Analytics to Improve Business, Work and Life. Yes, we will be discussing about Google self-driving cars. This use case has been taken from a book by Arthur Zhang entitled Data Analytics: Practical Guide to Leveraging the Power of Algorithms, Data Science, Data Mining, Statistics, Big Data and Predictive Analytics to Improve Business, Work and Life. Google made extensive use of prescriptive analytics when designing its self-driving cars. So how does prescriptive analytics help a self-driving car? The vehicle has a lot of sensors which helps it to detect the changes which is happening in the traffic. It checks for surrounding vehicles, it checks for other road users like cyclists or other pedestrians and obstacles in the roads. Depending on that, it analyzes and predicts the behavior which is going to happen of another vehicle in front or a vehicle at the back or a cyclist cycling beside it, and takes the decision about what should be its speed, what should be the pickup, when to brake and when to blow the horn. These kind of decisions are taken independently by the machine itself, basis the real-time data analysis which is being gathered from its system of real live traffic. Even unexpected events such as a child running across the road where you have to suddenly apply the brake, that is also being accounted in the sensors and in the cars of Google, the self-driving cars of Google. And here we see a perfect example of the value addition which prescriptive analytics, along with all its complexity, is doing for business. It is helping in the self-driving cars, which is another big technology boost which is happening in this current generation. It is a computer which is telling the management what is the route which should be taken, when should the speed be increased, when should acceleration happen, when should a brake be applied, and when should you just park at the corner of the street. Imagine the value addition which this technology can do in various business applications if we can evolve and use this particular technology and decrease the complexity of the usage of this technology. We are all very excited about prescriptive analytics, and we hope that the next time we have something like this, we would be discussing at breadth and length about the various use cases and adoption of this wonderful technology in various business applications. Till then, here is Utsav Sen signing off. Happy learning and happy day. Thank you.